Welcome to the 2021 Oswego State of the Village. We have some thanks in order before we begin. First, I'd like to thank Classic Cinemas for opening up today. They opened up early just for us, and we really appreciate it. And can't wait to get back in here and see a show. I mean, really can't wait. I'd also like to thank the Oswego Chamber of Commerce for hosting this event. I can't thank the Chamber and Chamber President Angie Hibben enough for their contributions to the village this year. I would also like to thank my family and my wife for their constant support, and thank God for daily guidance. I'm Troy Parlier, Village President of Oswego. My contact information is up here. Feel free to contact me any issues, anytime. This is our Board of Trustees. Going clockwise, we have Jim Martyr, Judy Solinger, and Milligan, Pam Parr, and it looks like, I can't see off the edge, that must be Terry Olson. And coming around, Lou Perez, Brian Thomas. We have a new addition to our staff here in Oswego, a very exciting one this year. Scott McMaster is our new Director of Economic Development. Great addition. Can we find Scott, put the spotlight on him, Julie? Great addition. He's really hit the road running. Sometimes you find yourself in the middle of nowhere, and sometimes in the middle of nowhere you find yourself. What a year. This time last year we were just coming off a very successful year, and we're eagerly looking to the next. We had a fantastic State of the Village event, and the message was optimistic and exciting. We had a great year and we were just getting started. Then the nation was plunged into the deep freeze in the form of the COVID-19 pandemic. The go-go mode at the village quickly shifted to fact-finding and concerns for the safety of our village. We soon found out real information was lacking, and without that, decisions could only be best guesses. We found ourselves in the middle of nowhere, but we weren't there alone. We responded together, the village government, village staff, business community, the residents, all learning together, working together, striving together. We discovered a wonderful thing. In the worst of times, we could rely on each other. Soon we found, by working together, we could overcome any obstacle in front of us. There's an old story about a young boy and girl playing together in a neighborhood yard. The boy asked the girl if she'd ever played marbles. She said she hadn't, but would like to. The girl asked the boy, "Do you like chocolates?" He quickly said yes. She said, "I have a whole box of candy at home." The boy replied, "I have the coolest set of marbles at home, and I'll trade all of my marbles for all of your candy." The girl agreed and ran home to get her box of candy. The boy ran home, looked at his marbles, set aside the best ones to keep for himself. He took the leftovers to the girl, and they exchanged gifts and went back home. That night, the girl played with her new marbles, went to bed, slept very peacefully. The boy ate his candy, went to bed, but he couldn't sleep. He had a terrible night. He tossed and turned, couldn't stop thinking that the girl cheated him, and held back some of the candy like he held back some of the marbles. It played over and over in his mind that the girl hadn't given all in the same way he had. Despite all the turmoil, troubles, and challenges of this past year, I felt calm and peaceful. I know we gave our all this year, 100%. Everyone giving 100%, working together. Seeing the results of this past year, we know we gave our all, coming together from nowhere. Knowing this not only gives me peace and contentment, it gives me confidence in the future. The village supported our businesses with executive orders, grants, and loans, keep shops running and doors open. Our village staff, public works, and police department risked their health to deliver services. Our chamber rallied our business community, and they found new ways to innovate and operate. Our residents stayed committed to supporting both. Now, as a vaccine is being distributed across our country and state, we can see light at the end of the tunnel. In the middle of nowhere, we found ourselves. Better yet, we're coming out of the darkness with momentum. The village board has recently approved several new concept plans for development. Many new restaurants have opened their doors with more to come. The financial health of the village is sound, with revenues exceeding expenditures through the first 10 months of the fiscal year. Yes, we found ourselves and eagerly look to the opportunities that lay ahead. And I have news for you. 2 years ago was a great year. Last year, despite what COVID could throw at us, was better. And we're still just getting started. Now let's take a closer look at what's going on in the village. Some of our fiscal highlights. Currently, our general fund revenues are up 2.4% year to date. Quite amazing given what's gone on this past year. We're actually up not just a little bit, that's a significant increase. So it just shows what we've done together. This year we've had no cuts to any village services. In fact, we've enhanced them. Despite many calls when this first hit to prep and prepare for the worst, and man, you have to cut things, you have to get ready for all this. We stayed the course and it proved to be the right course. Also, we were able to work in another property tax cut. We followed up the first in Oswego's history last year with another cut this year. We cut 0.5% again this year, on top of last year's 1.5%. We delivered $595,000 in grants and $113,000 in loans to the business community, covering 100 businesses. Our general fund surplus is at $2.3 million through the first 9 months of the fiscal year. Surplus, not deficit. These are some statistics I keep an eye on. I think it's important to see what's happening around us, but unemployment numbers are one I always look at. And I look at the state, I look at the county, and then I look at Oswego, and you can see it every step of the way, pre-COVID, back to December of 19, through the last 3 months of released data from the state. Kendall County is ahead of Illinois, but then again, Oswego's numbers are better than Kendall County. So we keep doing, moving forward. Things have been going as well, if not better than could be expected. One thing to look at though, is you look at December 19 versus December of 20, we still have a lot of people that become employed. That tells me we have a big boost waiting to happen once we're fully open. So what we're accomplishing now, we should be able to do much better once we get the engine running completely. COVID numbers. Most recent, our positivity for our region 2 is at 2.9%. That's fantastic. I mean, that is miles away from going backwards. Okay, to 6.5 or even 8. So we're not even, that should be far in the rearview mirror. We should be focusing forward now, given those numbers. And on top of that, with the vaccines getting out across our county. Our sales tax revenue is down less than 2% year to date. Amazing that the businesses have done such a great job all year. Income tax revenue is up, and that's without being fully employed like we were a little over a year ago. And this is a big, important number. Okay, we've added almost $20 million to our EAV over the course of the last 12 months. Okay, this is big because we keep increasing this base, tax rates go down. Tax rates go down, more business comes in. It's that simple. So this is very important, big number we put up this last year. And I suspect we're probably going to do a little better than that next year. Now I also look at this. Not too long ago, everybody in the area was over 10% for their property tax rate. So not that we're in a competition, but you want to be a little competitive with your neighbors. tax rate now, it's still too high, but I find it very competitive in our little region. Yorkville's at 10.3%, Montgomery 9.9, and now we're down to 9.6 from the growth we've had and the tax cuts we've put in. This makes a big difference when you try to attract commercial business. If someone's gonna make a $10 or $20 million investment in Oswego, that 1% says a lot. So over Public Works. Okay, last year I posted that we were accelerating our water meter replacement and we had put enough funding in it to drop it from 5 years to 3 years. Well, guess what? We're gonna have it all completed this year. We didn't need those 3 years. Kudos to the Public Works Department. One more large task off our plate. Our road resurfacing. This was a big deal for me when we took office. When we took office the previous year, the village had paved 0 miles of road. Our first year we paved 2.61. Last year we paved 2.51 in all the downtown alleys, which some of those hadn't been touched for over 30 years. This year we're planning to repave 4 miles of road. And we've continued the tree trimming and increased the Parkway tree replacement program. Both of those used to be dormant, and now they're accelerated back on track. And you see here a roundabout. What could that be? Well, we have a couple mega projects, and the first one we're going to talk about is Wolf's Crossing reconstruction. Okay, it has begun. We've approved the phase 2 engineering, well underway. What's included in this is construction from Route 30 all the way back to Harvey Road. And this Harvey Road intersection, actually it's going to go further than that. It's going to end up some of it back by Oswego East. But the roundabout is going to be at this intersection of Harvey and Wolf's, which if anybody drives by there now, it is a very dangerous intersection. And it's a T intersection, and this is going to be very important for us. Also included will be property acquisition, a new water main from Harvey to 5th Street, purchasing right-of-way on the north side of the road, changing grades, fixing drainage. There's going to be a bike path on the north side, a sidewalk on the south. And if you've driven down Wolf's Crossing, you know the grade goes up and down, it bends, it winds, and every now and again when we get a big storm, we have puddles. So that will all be fixed. Best part about it, we found enough grants, and our legislators have given us grants as well, and we have several here today. But this is going to cost Oswego only 62% of the project. We found a way that 38% of this, 38% of the burden is going to be shared through grants with the state and other entities. And of course, we have a big water project underway, a big study. So earlier this year, we approved a study with Baxter and Woodman. We hired those as consultants to really sort out bits and pieces. So that's all we had going into this, were bits and pieces. There was a lot of talk, and I found that out. Talk is easy, action is not. So we wanted to take some action on this, and we started. The project is underway. It is kicked off. And we have many options now. We can go to the Fox River. We can go Lake Michigan water through the Page Water Commission, Joliet Water Commission, or American Water through Plainfield. So we have many options now to look at and evaluate. Hence, it's very important to have a top-notch consultant to help us with this. We're waiting for another important piece of data coming from the state. There's a groundwater survey coming out. We expect it in March or April. And that's going to tell us that the current state of the aquifer, the data we have right now is very dated. So the study on the sources, the study on the groundwater, that should give us a lot of information to help us make a decision. And this probably means the source decision will likely be made this year. Moving to the police department, they had a very busy year. But they had a lot of highlights too, and a lot of the stuff doesn't come out that they do. So I'm going to talk about a little of that. But this year we added our first additional officer to the force in over 10 years. Not a replacement, but actually a new officer, up and above what our current force had been. We hope to add another one this upcoming year. And we know we have a lot of retirements coming up, so we started to get active about that. Our recruiting efforts got ramped up big time this year, and thanks to Jeanette Sturgis as well. She helped write the application, but we had stellar results for our applications. We had 302 applicants, and that was a 50% increase from the last time back in 2018. And this included a 40% increase in female applicants, a 38% increase in minority applicants. And a lot of this is due to redoing our application process, and Jeanette Sturgis does get a lot of credit for that, working hand in hand with the police department. To help us get officers here when we have this retirement bubble coming up, we adopted a lateral transfer program where we can actually bring officers in from other departments if they so wish to transfer into Oswego. So now we have two pools to choose from instead of one. The one, our historical pool, many more applicants, and now we have a second pool. So I believe we're pretty well prepared for that. And if you go to the mission statement of the police department, you'll find this in here: enhancing the quality of life. Okay, we have some words before it, some words after it. But this is really what it's all about. Protect and serve, everybody knows that about the police. Enhancing the quality of life. And this is what they do every day. Okay, I'm so impressed with our police department. It's not just providing protection for our residents. Okay, they are with our residents. They are helping our residents. They are big brothers, big sisters for our residents. Hey, some of the things they did that people don't know. When we first had the pandemic hit, and there was a rush in all the grocery stores, we had a police officer assigned to every grocery store to make sure everybody could get in and out safely, without issue. Every grocery store had an officer there. They stayed out of view, but they were there in the parking lot with that presence. When we had all the unrest in the summer, they were behind the scenes, planning, working, keeping us safe. And it's good when we don't hear things. It's because they're doing good behind the scenes. They did a great job. And then they turned over to enhancing the quality of life. They were running the summer caravans. They were running lead in that. They were nice enough to give me a vehicle, right, Chief? So I had a nice fancy vehicle with a light on top, so that was good. They did the Christmas caravans as well. You saw a lot of police traffic in that. They set up the traffic flow for the Christmas drive-through event. And now you'll see our Oswego Police Department at the mass vaccination clinics. You'll see their friendly faces checking you in, driving around, keeping people safe after they get their vaccines. They're out there in Yorkville in force. And actually, at every clinic, we have an officer out there. So they're doing a lot of things that enhance the quality of life. Well done, Police Department. Our community events stepped up, and it was very important in a year like this year. Okay, we had to rally the community. We had to give some sense of normalcy back for our residents. It just had to happen. So our community events department stepped up, big time. What we have on tap for this year, okay, and you'll see some of these events we did last year folded in, but we are having Wine on the Fox. Schedule it now, May 1st and 2nd. We're going to get back to what we used to be. We have a new event, Oswego Honors Veterans, that we had to kind of put on delay last year, but it's back. It's going to be May 21st through 31st. We're going to have concerts. We're going to have car shows. We're going to have choir performances. It is going to be everything geared to honoring our veterans. And this is the highlight of this is bringing the Mideast conflict wall to Oswego. And it'll be the first time it's left its home state of Oregon. We had movies at the venue last year. We're bringing them back. I think we're going to have 4 showings this year. The first one is June 3rd. That is a new regular event that will occur every year. 4th of July fireworks are scheduled this year. Luna Fest will happen in August this year. The Christmas walk is scheduled for December 3rd, and yes, we will have our Christmas walk again. Coffee and Conversations with me start up March 27th. So this is the event for seniors, and then we'll have Coffee with the Mayor, which again is with me, and we're starting that April 10th. So we're getting these events back on, and that's for the whole community. They come in, they can ask me any questions they want. Now, some of the new events we had that we're bringing in, we had a couple scavenger hunts over the past year. Well, we have another one. Our first one is March 14th, and it's going to have a St. Patrick's Day theme. The village pumpkin pickup was such a success last year. We gave away 500 pumpkins in just over an hour. We're bringing that back. Okay, we'll do that October 17th. And that village pumpkin pickup, our banks in the community helped us out. We had a lot of partners. You know, they all stepped up and helped us. You know, that was a good thing. Christmas walk, drive-through, we want that again. That was a good event, and I'd like to see that grow. That drew, I think, 3,000 cars, if I'm not mistaken, something like that. Neighborhood caravans, we don't know how we're going to fit that in the Christmas caravans, but we want to do that again too, so that's to be determined. But a lot of these events, we don't want them to go away. We just want to keep adding and delivering for our community. Our community deserves it. The Oswego Entertainment Venue, great news. I did have construction begins in March. Well, guess what? March came early. We start March 4th, tomorrow. So I just got that news today. We will start breaking some ground out there. And our bids, they came in $100,000 under estimates, allowing for a lot of upgrades and added features. So what you see here in this rendering of the venue is a lot like what you're gonna see. Okay, it's not gonna be the stripped down model that we're proposing and then add on it every year. We were able to apply a lot of that and put a lot of the nice things around this venue. Great thing, great public and private fusion project. We have received over $300,000 in private investment for this project. We have, of course, the initial donation from Kevin Fialco for land. Our own Angelo Cloronimos. Julie, can you spotlight Angelo? Angelo, can you stand for a minute? Round of applause for Angelo. Angelo is spearheading the effort to bring in things like topsoil, clay, grass, rock, all these construction materials that lessen our costs. And he's rounded up some great companies you've heard of. Deconstruction has contributed, and our own Terry Olson on the board has made a big contribution for transporting some of this over. All right, Terry, stand up. So both these gentlemen have contributed in excess of in between $50,000 and $100,000 of materials, and Angelo has rounded up even more. We expect the ribbon cutting to be July 1st, and our first performance in August. Our residential construction is, to say, I guess the best way to say it is just booming, okay? Some of these studies you've seen, CMAP said Kendall County has been the fastest growing county in Illinois for the last 10 years. We've grown almost over 6.5%. At the same time, the Illinois population declined by 2%. This is the fastest growing part of Illinois, and Oswego is key to that. PC Magazine just ranked Oswego as the 33rd best place to work from home in the country. Okay? You know, on PC Magazine, they have some tech algorithm they feed this stuff into, but whatever that algorithm spit out, it liked what Oswego was. And there's a lot around here. These are things we know, right? We know what a great place this is. And it's good to see other people, even national sources, are seeing that too. And since 2018, we've had the most housing starts right here in Oswego among our neighbors. So we're not slowing down, we're leading the charge. So what what has occurred the last year, since last State of the Village, we've had 289 new housing starts, 176 apartments, 71 single-family homes, 42 townhomes. We have 6 active developments with 6 active developers, and we're looking to add to that this year. And the first one we're going to add is Erdman Senior Living. Okay, they've been through the Planning Commission and the board, and they are going to have a community of 47 townhomes, 66 assisted living units, and a 32-bed memory care to take our seniors through all stages. Construction is going to begin this spring, and it's right behind Village Hall. That's going to be a great addition to our community. Redwood apartment homes. Now, when you see apartment, a lot of people think, oh, they're 5 stories tall, they're going to have a lot of people and cause problems. No. Look at this. These are like single-family homes. These are very, very high-end apartment homes. They are definitely not low-rent apartment homes, but they like Oswego. There's a new concept. The hot properties are rentable townhomes or rentable apartment homes. This is what the younger generation, this is their market, this is what they want. And we're getting this now in Oswego. So Redwood, it's going to be at the corner of Mill and Orchard. There's 143 single-family units, and we expect final board approval in April, the end of April. And they left a significant piece of commercial frontage on Orchard for us, which is very important for the village. We have some other developments through concept plan approval. They're a little further behind, but we approved their concept plans this year. Tuscany Station is a massive development. This is on the other side of the railroad tracks from the entertainment venue. 568 multifamily units, 76 single-family homes. And the key for us, almost 1,800 parking places for the Metro lot or the entertainment venue. Okay, that's going to be built in there. And again, they're leaving us a nice piece of commercial frontage on Orchard. The reserve at Hudson Crossing, and I believe Dave Patzelt is here today. If we can find Dave, Julie, I forgot to show you where Dave was. There he is. Dave, can you stand just real quick? You can get blinded by the light just like me. Dave has done a beautiful job getting this up and getting it up fast. We did a tour last week. The apartments are they're beautiful. And guess what? They're now leasing. They have already, I think it's 39 leases they have in place of 106 units that are open, 176. And they just started moving in people in piecemeal February 1st. This is fantastic. I suspect that's going to be filled up, much sooner than later. We finished construction on Block 11, and almost everybody stopped at the restaurant 113 Main, but we have this office building here too. The top 2 stories are commercial, and they are now leasing. Completed, done. Delta Sonic, well, we hope they're going to open May 2021. We've been waiting. 7-Eleven, we had a ribbon cutting on September 24th, open. Raising Cane's, one of my favorites. Grand opening January 12th. This is all new commercial construction as well, to tag along with our residential. The Dairy Barn, and if you look, there's the concept plan that we unveiled last year, and if you look at the right, you can see walls are up. Walls went up yesterday. They are vertical now. We expect them to be open September 1st. Freddie's off the chain. Everybody loves Mona's truck, right? Well, she's gonna have a nice new building there. The gray building, that's gonna come down, it's gonna be replaced by this building. So Mona's looking forward to having her new restaurant open this summer. And residential construction, commercial construction aren't the only ways we can grow. We were busy annexing to Oswego as well. So we annexed Emerson Creek Pottery and Tea Room. If you can't build a wedding venue, let's annex one, and we did that. We have a great wedding venue that is part of Oswego now, and we're happy to welcome them into the family. We also annexed Fox Ridge Stone, which is another potential huge development. Their concept plan calls for 568 single-family units, 242 multifamily units, parks, bike paths, and a huge commercial area, okay, on the corner of Minkler and Orchard and Route 71. Lots of commercial activity there. And the county's been working to extend Collins Road over to Minkler in 2023. When that happens, this is gonna be lights out. Okay, so we're really positioning ourselves not just for today, not just for tomorrow, but for the tomorrows after that. We're really getting stacked up now. What have we done in the past year? Okay, we had, that's a mistake. That's from last year. We actually opened 58 new commercial businesses this year. Big year. This is during the pandemic year. This created 250 new jobs, included 5 new restaurants. RV's Home of the Hoagie, we talked about it last year. Robert was here, he is open for business. I encourage you all to stop by and have a hoagie, okay? They're just, you can even walk there. I think I might walk there. Walk off some of the poutine on the way back. Raising Cane's is open. 113 Main is open. La Michoacana Magna. This is another one. If you go get your poutine, then you can walk around the corner and get some ice cream to go with it. They opened right on the corner here by the Jewel. Bar DeMarco. Did Jay make it here? Okay, Jay didn't make it here, but trust me, his food is good. So what do we have going on now? Dairy Barn will be opening, as we talked about, soon. Freddy's Off the Chain will be opening soon. Riverside Pizza will be opening soon. Hopefully by the end of March. Popeyes, that's a little further, but hey, we're gonna have a Popeyes now. La Marimba, you see this downtown as well. They're targeting a mid-March opening, so just a couple more weeks away from that. So we have these in the pipeline. So that you can see it's just busy from A to Z in Oswego. We have a lot of things stacked up. Not being wishful, it's happening. It is actually here. We have some breaking news too. What else do we have? This is good for our business community. We've been so efficient in getting out the grants so far. The state just keeps rewarding us, and they did again. The state just awarded us $312,000 to distribute to our businesses again. And we can only do this because we have a good system and we've proven we can do it. So, business community, we'll be talking to you a little more. We don't know the rules with this one yet, but hey, if they're gonna send $312,000 our way, we'll find a way to use it. We'll find a way to get it in your hands. Aventura, another development, breaking news, okay? 148 single-family rental homes, similar to Redwood. Not the apartments that you're used to seeing. This is gonna cover 23 acres at the southeast corner of Wolf's Crossing and Douglas. This goes to the Plan Commission tomorrow. Now, I had several people call and say, Troy, I saw that there was a contract pending on this sign on Wolf's Crossing. What's there? What's it? So I couldn't say anything until now. But good news, more breaking news, more investment in Oswego. And this is maybe the best, okay? This has me excited. Fox Valley Winery is moving downtown. They're gonna move to where the Oswego Cyclery is. Cyclery is gonna move to the smaller piece on Main Street. Fox Valley Winery is gonna take where the current cycle shop is. They're gonna have open air wine tasting. Okay, they're gonna have an indoor-outdoor place. So we're gonna have our wine bar downtown finally, and we can enjoy it out in the open air. There's a great thing happening. I believe, I just got the go-ahead from Dick Fultz Friday, late afternoon to talk about this. So there's the plan, the design plan, but much more to come on this. And the production will be here as well. Production will happen in that building. So I know you don't want to hear more geese. But while prepping for my message, I came across some interesting facts about geese. Here in Oswego, we frequently see these geese in formation. Why do they fly that way? By flying in the V formation, each bird creates uplift for the bird behind it. This way, the flock increases its flying range by 70% compared to a single bird flying alone. When a goose leaves the formation, and you can see that happen in the video, they feel the drag and quickly get back to the formation to take advantage of the bird in front of them. When the lead goose gets tired, it rotates back and another goose takes its place, until it gets tired and another one takes its place. What about the honking that you hear? This is from the geese in behind encouraging geese up front to keep up their speed. What happens if a goose gets sick or injured? If it's unable to continue the flight? If it falls out of formation, two geese leave with it to help it. It even follows it to the ground to provide help and protection. They stay with it until it can fly. If it dies, then and only then those two geese find another flock. Can you identify with the goose? With all the struggles we faced this year, with all we've been through, to get through this together, from the middle of nowhere, to find ourselves, I know I do. And I couldn't have flown with a better flock. Thank you for all you've done this year. Thank you for the support. God bless you, and God bless Oswego.